Jill Biden was on The View today. Yeah, Jill Biden was on The View. And, I was riveted because if there's nothing more that I'd like to see and hear and witness is Jill Biden talking about nothing. People were falling asleep. Someone literally fell asleep, fell and busted their head. They're suing the station. Jokes, joking. But she is boring. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to run her main clip. Okay, I got 2 clips. Here goes Jill Biden making the case in your face.
This election is not about age because, like you're saying, Donald Trump's going to be, what, 78?
78, yeah.
And Joe's 81. They're basically the same age.
Right.
So, but it's about character. This election is about character. Yep. So you have 2 choices. You have my husband, Joe, who you all know, who has integrity. He's strong. He's steady. He's a leader. He's smart. He's energetic. Or you have chaos.
That's right.
Yes, or you have chaos.
Right.
Told you that's the talking point. That chaos thing. Trump is chaos. People are like, as broke as I am, I can use some chaos. Jill, first of all, 77 and 81 may not seem like a big deal, but it is, especially if you're 81. Yeah, if you're 81, you're like, damn, I wish I was 77 again. And if you're 77, you're like, damn glad I'm not 81. It's how life works, man. For Joe to sit up here disingenuously and pretend they're the same thing, that's not it. Second point. What's this Saint Joe Biden shit everyone's on? Yeah, you're not the only one, Jill. And look, in fact, I'll take it from you, Jill. You have the room to say this because you kind of gotta. You married the guy. Okay, so you gotta like him. Yeah, I remember when my oldest son, when he was like 6, someone was teasing him at school and he came and told me about it. I was walking him to the bus stop. He said, I'm gonna leave at the bus stop. He said, don't leave me at the bus stop. They be calling me names. I said, what? Who called you names, big guy? Who's calling you names? He said, one of these kids. I said, what did he call you? He said, he called me a football head or something. A loopy head. I said, what? I said, you're not a loopy head. You're a cool kid, man. You're a cool kid. You're smart. You got a lot of friends. And he said, he looked me right in the eyes and said, Dad, you're my dad. You got to say that. It's like, yeah, you're right. But it's still true. Don't mean it's not true. Bobblehead, that's what he called. Someone called him a bobblehead. That was it. All right. Yeah, back to Jill Biden. Jill Biden, okay, you're full of shit though, Jill. Cut the Joe's a saint. You want to divorce his ass several times. The hair sniffer in chief, that guy, that's the guy you want me to believe is St. Joe now. I remember when I had Michael Moore on this podcast. Yeah, we were talking about the election, Trump versus Biden. It's like 2020 or something. And Michael Moore, he sets it up, he's saying how horrible Joe Biden's past record has been. How, he threw black people in jail like hotcakes just to appease conservatives. And then in the same breath, he's like, but I met him and he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy, down-to-earth guy.
We know Biden's voting history. We know it's a long record, and a lot of it isn't very good, especially back in the 90s. He was the one who really pushed that crime bill. He was the one. It's maybe if he had it to do over again now, he'd do it differently. I've met him. Have you ever met him, Tim? Biden?
Never met him, no.
Yeah, I've met him. I met him a couple times. I have to say, he is kind of just a regular Joe. He is a nice guy. He cares, or he wants to believe that he can care.
I don't know what it is with these people thinking Joe's such a nice guy. Fuck no, I haven't met him. Look like D.L. Hughley to you? That's D.L. Hughley. You getting this all as black people mixed up. D.L. Hughley's the one that be kissing up just Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Not me, okay? I'm a Dr. Cornel West supporter. But no. People keep saying how great Joe is. Like, Joe's so empathetic. He knows loss. he lost his son. I mean, I keep hearing about the people. Don't get me wrong. It's sad that his son died. To lose your wife and your daughter, these are horrible things. And Joe's been using it ever since. Oh, yeah. He uses it like that one tie that blue-collar worker has hanging in the closet from whenever someone dies. He wears it, he puts it back. Had it there for 30 years. He only owns one tie. It's a clip-on. That's the way Joe wears his grief, okay? All he does is card it out in times of need and pretend like he gives a shit or that he can relate to what's going on in your life. But here's the difference. I did not cause any of the deaths or any of the pain that he suffered. But Joe Biden has been a part of the suffering of Americans. Joe Biden has caused pain and suffering. I had anything to do with the truck driver and nothing to do with his son being in Afghanistan, but he did. He had something to do with it. He voted for it. Okay? How many of us could have changed the decision that caused the grief in our lives? Not many, right? This guy actually voted for it. He actually made it so. Okay? So, stop telling me how great he is. And besides all that, a lot of his policies are just garbage. Okay? So stop with he's fine as the driven snow.
Well, Dr. Biden, the first presidential debate is less than a month away, and we've debated at this table. There have been people that have thought President Biden shouldn't even debate President Trump just due to the fact that Donald Trump will gaslight, he overtalks, yes. There are no guardrails. So
he stalks.
Yeah, well, yeah. I happen to believe it's really important, more than ever, to have a debate with guardrails. What is the strategy that the president has going into this? Any tips you'd have for a debate that we could pull off where we could actually hear our candidates?
They've built that in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble or scream at somebody. Not that my husband would be the one doing that. No. And so that's already been negotiated. And, I think the American people deserve a debate because you need to see your choices. You need to see Trump, and you need to see the president, and you need to see the differences. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. And then you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence together, and everything is beautiful, and it's wonderful.
Tremendous.
Big league. Yeah, tremendous. Yeah. So I think the American people deserve to see the two men who are running for this office, because your choice is going to be clear.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, look at her, so proud of herself. Jill's as proud of herself as can be. Look at her face. She's so proud of herself, guys. Look at that. Hey, look at me. I got through all that shit at one time. They told her, Jill, okay, look, say this exactly as I'm telling you now. Here you go. Now repeat it back to me. Okay, hold it in. Okay, go, girl. She goes in, she says exactly, because she was stumbling all over herself, trying to get out all those talking points that the handlers told her to say. Because this is all prearranged, guys. Come on, actually, you're not of the demented. They think they put Jill up here and let her talk, do you? Man, she be making more gaffes than Joe Biden, man. Have you ever heard her talk? Jesus Christ. She's a Karen, dog. She's a serious Karen. The last thing that Joe Biden needs is her talking. Unscripted. Off the cuff. Spontaneous. So let's pick it apart. Okay, first of all, I see you rolled back the whole thing about choices. You said, yeah, but America needs to have its choices. So they should definitely debate because it's all about choices. I mean, now between Trump and Biden. Funny you weren't saying that earlier when there could have been a primary held. Yeah, I noticed you didn't bring that shit up back then when there could have been more candidates. And there's still some candidates that are running. If you think there should be choices, a couple people, few independent candidates are running. Why don't you talk to hubby and have a real democracy going? How about that? I mean, since you think Americans deserve choices. See, here's the real deal. Jill, what you really want to say is, pick Joe. Yeah, that's your choice. Pick Joe. You don't know what you want, America. Let us tell you. You're not smart enough, America, to know what's good for you. Let me tell you what's smart and what's good for you. Pick Joe. Joe's the guy. You know, you will always be on our shit list, Jill, because somewhere in our heart of hearts, I can't prove it, but I instinctively feel that if it wasn't for you, Joe would have never ran. Yeah, I got a feeling. You put him up to this. You're trying to please his woman. He carted his demented ass out here to run again when he knows he shouldn't be running anywhere. He should be walking gingerly and having someone Uber him or calling the Instacart and having them deliver him some pizzas or some ice cream. That's what he should be doing. He should be waxing his Corvette in the shade, not the figurehead of America, because he ain't running anything. We all know. Come on, man. Joe Biden's not running America. He's running to the bathroom every hour. That's what he's running. Okay. And you make your husband sound like he's bait. You know, make him sound bait. No one's going to be yelling. Certainly not my husband. Yeah, because your husband's not passionate about anything. Only thing he's loud about is being wrong. That's it. If I saw some passion out of him, that'd be great. But you know what? If you boosted the medication any harder, we might have a problem. He might not make it to election day. So the best course of action is to allow him to be lethargic as he's been. Oh, we don't want him to. We want guardrails up because we don't know how Trump's going to behave. What do you mean? What's he going to do? Talk loudly at the debate? That's it. That's not dangerous. No, what Americans are going through when they go to the gas pump, when they buy have you brought cheese? Have you brought cheese? Cheese is high. Not Kraft singles. Kraft singles are not cheese. That's why they call Kraft singles. No, I mean regular cheddar. I bought some provolone. It was $7 for provolone. I was like, not today. That's everything, Jill. That's all the stuff at the store. And it's not inflation. It's price gouging. Price gouging. So, Jill, you want to look out for us instead of coming on The View and talking to us about guardrails, about debates that your husband won't have, about how he's the sensible one, the reasonable one. You should get to talking to him about the price gouging that Americans are facing. And then we could only hate him and not you so much. But right now, you're getting blamed because you're both part of it. You're both part of it. You know, all in all, I didn't watch the rest. There was more to it. That's all I brought for you. But as far as Jill Biden, I just, I don't know, man. You know, she's not as annoying as Hillary was because it seems she has no political aspirations. Thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for that. But Jesus Christ. The Democratic Party shoved this guy down the throats of the voters. And none of us had a gag reflex. We all had to kind of take it. Some of us got sick. There were people literally in tears voting for Joe just because they became so afraid of Trump because people really believed Trump might bring slavery back. Where did they get that idea from? I know where they got it from, lying-ass Democrats. So they manipulated voters into supporting Joe Biden when they really didn't want Joe. Okay? It's just when you got 90% of all news agencies working towards one narrative, and that is Trump will destroy America. When you got 90% of news agencies all at the same time saying the same thing, somehow people believe it. Somehow they believe it. But that does not mean we like Joe Biden. I do not accept that. I do not accept it. I think there are people who are just delusional. Most people under 60 know better. And I don't mean put that on my people over 60. There's some smart people over 60. But I'm just saying, like, most of the older Americans are the ones that are Biden supporters. Well, you know, that are Democrats. Tobias, some people shouldn't be in politics. Most people who are shouldn't be. I gotta agree with that. Christine says, I get anxious every time I go to the grocery store. It's ridiculous. Yes, it is. Here we go. All those Delaware corporations are the reasons for inflation. That's right. No taxes in Delaware. No taxes. Africa's king. Roland Martin will always be there for Joe. Yeah, he will. He will. That's because that's where the money is.